to On the Shelf episode number 29 of
Brutal Battle.
And if you listen to episode 28 of On the Shelf, we were pretty disappointed with the offerings we had there. So, looking at what we have in front of us, I'm more hopeful for this one. Now watch that just all come crashing down.
You never know. You never know.
But we're sticking with our theme from the last On the Shelf of breweries we've never tried anything from.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what I want to try and focus mostly on with these On the Shelves going forward, because there are so many new breweries showing up at our local beer store that I kind of want to keep pace with trying like at least one thing from as many breweries as we can, just so we can be like, yes, we've had an offering from that brewery.
Yeah.
You know, obviously that's not the best representation of what that brewery does, but it's something. It gives you a little bit of a hint at least how they do one style, maybe.
And then we have one local and one local-ish.
Yeah. So the first one that we're starting with, we are very excited about. And as soon as we saw this,
we both were like, yes, we have to get this one.
We got very giddy. We were like, this is the one we're going with. And this is also a brewery that Rebecca said she's really been wanting to try for a while.
Yeah, well, because they're in Annapolis.
Yes. Which
Maryland.
isn't so far from it.
And it just looks so cute. Yeah.
So this is by Forward Brewing out of Annapolis. It's called Boat Day. It's a lightly dry hopped Kolsch. How many Kolsches are out there?
Yeah.
Not enough. That's what I would say. This is 4.8% alcohol. Yeah. Not only are Kolsches super tasty typically, they're lower in ABV. And if you're like Rebecca and I, we're watching how much we're consuming. So the lower the ABV, the less kind of points against you.
The more you can drink.
Yeah, because we track it in an app called Drink Control, which really does help. So, yeah, very excited about this. I will say before we crack it open, it's called Boat Day, not to be confused with Boat Beer, which is a session ale by Carlin Brewing in New Jersey. And I'm going to make a confession here. I think about Carlin Brewing a lot. Because I went there once with my buddy Rich. I brought some beer home, and I liked everything I tried there. I liked everything I brought home, and I follow them on Facebook, so I see what they're putting out. And knowing the pedigree of their brewing, it's just like everything I see, I'm like, I want to try that, I want to try that. And they put their Ballinator back out again recently, which that's the big one I want again, which is, it's a beer that they did, I think it's done kind of like Doppelbock style, if I'm not mistaken. But it's, in place of using hops, they used coffee. It is so tasty. It's one of the best coffee beers I've ever had. And then also, I think we had them on a podcast episode a long time ago. They had these 4 different Imperial Cream Ales done with different coffee in barrels. And not a few of them were in different barrels, but it was like a mixed 4-pack. Those were heavenly.
Yeah, they were very
They
good.
were heavenly. And how often are you getting barrel-aged Imperial Cream Ales? How often are you getting coffee cream ales? Like, man, the Ballinator and those barrel-aged coffee cream ales, I need them back in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I don't want to take too much away from
Don't take away from this boat beer.
Yeah. So Boat Day. No.
Boat Day.
Boat beer. You fell into it.
I did it.
That's Carlin. It's Boat Day. Okay, so let's crack the 16-ounce can of Boat Day, which we are still excited about.
I'm assuming this is going to be the perfect beer to drink on a boat.
Maybe that was the origin. If there's flavor text on here, I'll read it and find out.
We got ourselves a clear beer.
I don't think there is flavor text on this, though. No, there isn't. This beer cleans our bay by planting oysters.
Oh.
So I guess part of the proceeds go to replenishing the oyster population in the Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Clear beer.
Oh, you know how I feel about clear beer. It makes me very excited.
It's yellow and it's clear. Nice pillowy head.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of head sticking around on that.
It smells so good.
Oh.
It's like crisp.
Crisp, refreshing. Little straw note for sure.
A little lemon.
Very slight lemon.
It's a little bready.
There's a slight citrus other than lemon. And I'm trying to figure out what I think that is.
I could see that. I would say orange.
Okay. Slight orange, and there's a little bit of a honey kick at the very end. Yeah, a little bready as well, like you said. Smells nice. Smells easy, refreshing, clean. Oh, yeah. Easy, refreshing, clean. There's more of a bitterness to the finish than I was expecting.
I was just thinking, as I was letting the last bit kind of coat the back of my mouth, I was like, there's a little bitterness to this, which kind of helps balance it out, gives it a little bit more body.
Yeah. It kind of gives more contrast to the beer, like what you're tasting in the beginning and then at the end.
Not just one flavor note.
Yeah. I'm getting a bit of like a... What is that? Definitely getting a little bit of that honey. I'm definitely getting that kind of like slight lemony, slight orangey from the light dry hopping. But there was something else that stuck out to me that I'm trying to suss.
I mean, I feel like it's a little biscuity.
Yeah, it is biscuity. There's that little bit of like that hay note going on as well.
Yeah, but the bitterness is not something I was expecting, but I kind of like it.
It's good. Yeah, it was definitely unexpected, that bitter kick at the end. So I was a little bit thrown off at first, but once you keep sipping it and you just get used to that, it's nice. It's a nice way to end each sip. I dig this beer.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's pretty good. Yeah. And it has a bit more of a mouthfeel to it. It's a little more viscous than I thought it was going to be based off the nose and based off the ABV and style.
Yeah.
Oh,
agreed.
There's a little bit of a corn type note in there. That's what I was getting.
I could see that.
And I'm
there's definitely more to that. More to the beer than what you think you're going to get.
Yeah. There's a decent complexity to it that I appreciate. That's a good beer. I like that. Makes me want to try more forwards, though.
Makes me wish we would have got like a 4-pack of this.
Well, I mean, we can go back. The beer store we go to is like a 5-minute drive, basically. So it's not hard.
Do we have room?
Well, we got to work things down. That's what I'm saying. You have to do that. All right, so the next one is by Species X Beer Project, which I, haven't ever heard of them. And they're out of Alexandria, Virginia. This is their Del Fresque. The can looks super cool.
Yeah,
it's like
what is it?
Silver, all silver, and then it's got like this like real artsy design on it that kind of looks like root systems going out in all these different directions in 2 different colors of green. It's very cool. It looks very, very nice. But this is an IPA brewed with cucumber and lime. That sounds interesting, and the ABV is 6%.
Okay.
Which I appreciate. There is some flavor text on here, so we'll get to that after we try it.
And this one does not have a date code on it.
Oh, yeah. Is this the non-date code one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no date code. So, mistake there, Species X Beer Project. You should definitely date code. It helps people know how long your beer is fresh for, and then it presents a problem where if people are drinking your beer when it's not fresh, they are assuming that it is fresh.
Man, this is
and if it's bad representation, that's on you.
This is fragrant.
Okay. I mean, I would assume with cucumber and lime. Those are pretty strong. A little haze.
Yeah, a little hazy.
It doesn't necessarily look like it was meant to be a hazy IPA because it's not like super hazy. I mean, I can see that like the cucumber and the lime would give it that natural kind of haze. But it's pretty yellow. Very, very yellow.
It's very limey.
Whoa.
Like you just like briefly put your nose in the glass and it just like slaps you in the face.
Yeah, it's very lime. I'm trying to see if I get anything else. It's hard.
Cucumber is like cucumber in things, like cucumber flavored things are strong, but a cucumber itself is mild.
Yeah, the nose.
I mean, like,
or you're saying flavor. Like when you're eating,
like when you're eating a cucumber, it's a mild flavor.
But
like when you have like a cucumber flavored like sparkling water, like we've had like Spindrift cucumber sparkling water, and it's like so strong.
So when I keep smelling it, it's weird because there's almost like a pepperiness in the nose.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which is odd to me. And also I get like a malty smell. Like, just like this nondescript maltiness going with the lime. I don't smell cucumber because that lime is so strong.
It's hard to get past the lime.
It is. I don't dislike the way it smells. I was going to say,
I don't mind it, though. It's very strong, but I can't say I dislike it.
Now, the question is, will it be like that nasty Ouzelfinch beer that they, like, literally just, like, hand-squeezed lime into after the fact, and it was so acidic and gross? I'm hoping it's not. It doesn't smell like it would be, but... I get the cucumber.
Yeah.
In the flavor. I get the lime. The lime is way more subdued in the flavor than it is in the nose. And it's interesting because it's kind of like... It's a bit of a juxtaposition because, like, it's lots of lime in the nose and I can't smell the cucumber. In the flavor, I feel like I taste more cucumber and less lime. It's interesting. I don't know if it's for me.
I'm thinking the same thing. I could see this as a very good warm weather sitting outside beer, though, for sure.
I get like a cantaloupe finish on it, which is weird.
I think I would like this more outside on the deck.
Oh, so the setting and the weather changes everything for you on this.
Oh, yeah. It always does with the beer.
For what it is, it's solid. I just don't know if this is the type of beer for me. Just because I'm not loving the cucumber and lime together. Just because I don't know. There's just something about it's not doing it for me. It doesn't taste like an IPA. You know? Like, it definitely doesn't.
Yeah, I wish there were... Yeah, I agree with you. I think if they dialed back the lime and the cucumber, it could be better, and then let some of that
like hops
come forward.
Like actually getting some IPA character coming through in the beer instead of having the cucumber and lime just bash it down. Yeah, I agree with that. I can see a lot of people liking this though, and that's fine because I can see where there's a place for this for sure. I mean, it's just not for me.
It's cucumber and lime for sure. There's no denying that.
It is interesting enough, though, for me to keep going back to, like, just re-sip what's in my glass, because it's kind of confusing. Especially when you're thinking IPA. You're like, IPA?
Yeah.
There is an okay bitterness on the finish, too. I mean, it's fine.
I feel like if people see this and they see IPA...
Yeah.
They're going to be expecting a certain profile and they're not going to get it. But people who actually may like this beer might not like it because it says IPA.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Maybe if they just said ale brewed with cucumber and lime, like that might market it better. Yeah. Because that's a really good point that like someone who's into IPA may not really like this beer. And someone who would actually like this beer may be scared off by it saying IPA. Mm-hmm. So that's a good point. Maybe just say ale brewed with cucumber and lime, and that would make more sense. Because, you can't tell it's an IPA at all. Like, So, I don't know. Just saying. There is flavor text on this, though, so I'm going to read it. In this India Pale Ale, we showcase a strain of Torulaspora del Brecci yeast that expresses the flavor, aroma, and body of freshly made white grape juice.
What?
I don't get white grape juice. Complemented by the addition of real cucumbers and limes, the resulting beer offers a unique twist on the dry, bold, and refreshing experience you expect from an IPA.
I mean, it is...
Tastes nothing like an IPA, so... I understand that it was brewed as an IPA, but it tastes nothing like an IPA, so it's kind of like... But whatever. I mean, it's fine for what it is. I'm not mad at it.
Interesting. I mean, I'd like to try more offerings from them because this is so interesting. It's not like a bad beer.
Yeah. I just took a larger sip, like chug. Glass. Yeah, and I'm getting that cantaloupe is still there. It's even stronger on the finish. Maybe it's from the hops they used because I know there are hops that give like a cantaloupe character. But it's definitely cantaloupe in there, in my opinion. So, but. No, I mean, interesting for what it is. I definitely liked this episode more than the last on the shelf. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious boat day wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun, nice, tasty beer. I'm all in on that. But I do want to try more from both of these breweries after this episode. So that is a big plus. So number 1 is the Boat Day by Forward Brewing Lightly Dry Hopped Kolsch, and number 2 is the Species X Beer Project Del Fresque IPA with cucumber and lime. And that's what it is. Anyway, let's plug all the stuff. Rate us and review us on whatever podcatcher you use, but iTunes helps the most, and word of mouth is a wonderful thing that you could do for us. Spread the word about the podcast to people who might be interested, or people who you're on the fence about. Then they can just experience it and see how they feel. Email us at brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com if you just want to say hi, get some beer recommendations, give us recommendations for beers you want on the podcast, formats, episodes that you're like, hey, you haven't done this episode format in a while and I really like it. Could you do this? Yeah, maybe. Also on Untapped, I'm Carl, probably the easiest way, Carlton Malibu, all one word, search it that way. That's the easiest. And you?
Rebecca C.
And Instagram.
Brutal Battle Podcast.
Well, oh, you're going to say something else?
No. I was just going to say that we do have an idea for an episode that was given by a listener, and we have
right.
yet to work on that one.
That's right. Do we want to say what it is or not?
It's up to you.
Okay, no, let's just keep it under wraps for right now, but we do... Was that Dan Flynn who sent us that one? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Dan Flynn, just know message received.
He sent us a message on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah. And that brings something else up. You can message us through Instagram, and Rebecca typically is the one who reads that. And Dan Flynn, know that you're not ignored. We are going to do something. Don't worry. It's just when. Got to put the time in for research and whatnot. So, yeah. But regardless, we really do appreciate everyone who keeps listening to the podcast. It keeps us going, keeps us motivated, because, this is just a fun thing we do as a hobby. Been doing it for 10 years now. So anyway, thank you everyone for listening, and until next time.
Keep it brutal.